Hello, and welcome back to Felony Spectator. I am your host, Heather. Today I have Jason from Northern Ballistics Canada, also my husband. I brought him today to talk about the incident that recently happened on set of the movie Rust with Alec Baldwin. As you may have heard, the prop gun Alec was using somehow had a live round in it, which fatally shot cinematographer Halyna Hutchins in the chest. It also hit director Joel Souza, who was standing behind her. Jason runs a channel dedicated to replica and airsoft guns, and Jason recently talked with actor Will Roberts about this. And can you explain the type of guns typically used on set?
A prop gun could mean a range of items, from a non-functioning weapon to cap guns, but it also can mean a real weapon or one that is adapted to firing blanks. I'm not privy to what they were actually using on set.
Has Will Roberts mentioned if it's normal for live rounds to even be on set? Because to me, this doesn't seem right.
No, he hasn't said it specifically, but from what I understand, there is absolutely no reason why you would have any sort of live ammunition anywhere around a prop gun. It's just not safe. There's no need for it.
So in Canada, if you or I take a friend shooting and they're not licensed or experienced shooter, you or the person licensed is responsible for the gun and the guest. We have to prove the gun's safe, right?
Absolutely. So we have what's called axe and prove here in Canada, and it's the same basic concept no matter where you are around the world. Assume every firearm is loaded. You control the muzzle direction at all times. Here on this set, there's nobody behind us, so we're safe. Trigger finger must be kept off of the trigger or on the trigger guard. Next, you have to see if the firearm is unloaded to prove that it's safe. And this is where the prove comes in. So point the firearm in the safest available direction, remove all the cartridges, take out the magazine, observe the chamber, so you look down the barrel to make sure that there is no cartridge in the chamber, verify the feeding path, which is through here in the bottom of the gun, and examine the bore to make sure that there's nothing there.
So in this situation with Alec Baldwin, he was handed the gun by the assistant director who said the gun was cold and apparently didn't know it had live rounds. Do you think the assistant director should then be held responsible?
From what I understand by listening to Will Roberts discuss this with some other actors, this was a union shoot, which should have had a safety officer. However, I read after the fact that the union workers had walked off the set that morning and they were using non-union fill-ins. So I assume this means that there was no active safety officer. As for the assistant director, I'm not exactly sure how this will play out. Everyone who touched the gun should have to accept a portion of the responsibility. Each time you touch a gun for the first time, you need to prove that it's safe.
From what I've read, there were also several camera operators who walked off set. Lots of people were unhappy, as you just explained. But there were also reports of at least one previous misfire with the prop gun. What does that mean? I mean, if it was supposed to be filled with blanks, then misfired, and all of a sudden it has a live round, is that not suspicious? How common is misfiring an ammo?
Misfires happen all the time with cheap pistol ammunition. Usually the round is cleared after 60 seconds and then you want to move on. I've never fired blanks, so I'm not exactly sure the rate of misfire.
Other camera operators have posted on social media that they weren't getting paid, their hotels were being taken away, lack of COVID safety. Being in true crime, my knee-jerk reaction is that this seems off. What do you think?
In my opinion, someone purposely planted that round in the gun. There should be zero reasons to have a live round anywhere around a gun used as a prop.
I feel the same. Why on earth would someone bring live ammo to a movie set? It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, Alec Baldwin isn't a gun guy. He is actually quite anti-gun. So wouldn't you say first step in gun safety is education? Would it make sense for actors to load their own blanks?
I think anyone handling any sort of firearm, blanks or not, should have some sort of training. There was a video of Will Smith looking over some prop guns to choose for what would be best for the movie Bad Boys. And one of the staff members was mishandling the gun. Will immediately took the gun, proved that it was safe, handed it back to the guy. This was proper gun safety, and it was amazing to watch what an A-list actor could do.
Bumping it up a level to some of the cooler, more up-to-date stuff.
It's not more extravagant than the second one.
Terrible gun safety.
Yeah, that is amazing that an actor would take responsibility and safety. While extremely rare, there have been dozens of people who died on movie sets due to prop guns. Another well-known death was Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, on the set of The Crow. Would it not make sense for maybe air guns to be used, especially if many of the actors aren't confident with the safety standards?
Yes, airsoft and BB guns can be used and can be discharged without a projectile. So you can have the blowback action, a realistic action of a gun, without actually being lethal. A lot of airgun replicas are so accurate to their real-life counterparts that it's almost impossible to tell them apart unless you're holding it.
My heart goes out to all those affected by this tragic incident. It seems so preventable that I can't help but wonder if a disgruntled employee was seeking revenge. I mean, lots of unhappy people were working the past few weeks. That would be horrible, and I hope that's not true. But I can't help but wrap my head around any other reason why a live round would be on a movie set. I know there are a lot of labor issues in Hollywood, but lack of money, lack of following the rules still doesn't excuse the fact that someone brought a live round to set. And that's the problem. I'd love for you guys to tell me what you think. So please leave me a comment of what your thoughts are with guns on movie sets and what you think about this particular situation. Thank you, Jason, for being my guest. And thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.